Hi, this is Grandma Laurie. Today's story is The Giant Glove. Okay, kids, said Mr. Mouse. Today is the first day of winter break, so let's have some fun. What did you have in mind, my dear? Asked Mrs. Mouse. The family was sitting at the kitchen table enjoying breakfast. I was thinking we'd have a whole day of baking and telling stories, Mr. Mouse said. Will you tell us stories about when you were both little? Alice, the youngest, asked. Mrs. Mouse told Alice, of course, if that's what she'd like. And can we bake cookies? Asked Alice. Of course. Mrs. Mouse smiled at Alice. She liked baking with her daughter. They always had fun. Stanley, however, was not too happy about the plan. Do we have to? He whined. Mr. Mouse looked at him and said, if you don't want to take part, you can go outside and play. Yippee! Said Stanley. Mr. Mouse interrupted Stanley's celebrations. After you help clean up the breakfast dishes and make sure the living room is picked up. Stanley pouted. With that, Stanley started cleaning up the breakfast dishes and doing his chores. He wanted to go outside so badly. It had been too cold to play outside until today. While Alice asked Mr. and Mrs. Mouse questions about when they were children, Stanley got ready and headed outside. This is the life, said Stanley, letting snowflakes land on his nose. It doesn't get this cold and snowy often here, so I'd better enjoy it while it's here. As Stanley looked around his snowy kingdom, he saw something unusual. A large human glove. What's that doing here? Stanley asked himself. He went over to investigate. As he crawled inside, he realized it was nice and warm. Ew, said Stanley, this feels nice. As he settled in, the wind picked up and the glove became a mobile home, rolling down the hill. Came sounds from inside the glove with each bump. Finally, the glove landed at the bottom of the hill. Stanley looked out to make sure the world hadn't slid along with the glove. Boy, that sure was a wild ride, he said to himself. It took a while for Stanley to walk back home, so he was very tired when he walked through the door. He found Alice sitting between their parents, telling a story. All three turned as Stanley walked through the door. Did you have a good time? Asked Mr. Mouse. You look exhausted. Well, let me tell you my story, Stanley said with a smile. First, though, some cookies, said Alice, running into the kitchen with Mrs. Mouse to grab Stanley a snack. Stanley was very glad to be home. This has been Grandma Laurie. I hope you enjoyed this story. Thanks for joining me. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and share so I can keep bringing you great stories. You're awesome. Thank you.